I have a buy-in problem. Please send help. Hello my loves, and thank you for joining me. It's Kirsten and we're doing a book haul. 25 books to be precise, and this was the reason for the unhaul because I bought all of these and had no room. None. Zilch. Nada. Now I have room for just a few more books because I did unhaul 30, so I have a room for a few more, but I would love to say to you guys I'm not going to buy any more books until like the new year. But we know that's a lie. We know that's never going to happen. So we're not even going to bother. I'm not even going to set myself that anymore. But these are books that I have got in the last couple months actually. So I think since the end of September. These are the books that I've got since then. So I'm going to do the thrifted books first. So let's just get into it. We've got a mixture of genres, a mixture of different things. So let's go. You know what a book haul is. Let's do this. So first up on the thrifted side, we have Voyage of the Basilisk, a memoir by Lady Trent. This is the third book in the series. You will find the second book in a moment. And this is by Marie Brennan. I love this series so much, and Natural History of Dragons was a new favourite book for me for this year. It's fantastic. That is the sort of fantasy book that I am loving. I treated myself to the second book, brand new, and then picked up the third one. I got this from World of Books. They were having a sale on buy 3 books get 1 free. I couldn't say no. When I saw that they had this, it was meant to be. It was meant to be. I want to get all of the books. I think it's a 5 book long series with a 6th book that's following a relation of Lady Trent. This is the Jane Austen sensibilities, the way women have to act back then, just the propriety and everything. But add it with dragons, and it's so good. I loved that first book. Now the first book is done in a way where you could easily just have it as a standalone if you wanted to, but I loved Lady Trent so much, and I really enjoy Marie Brennan's writing. Each book we're following Lady Trent as she explores a different area and trying to explore different dragons. I know it's going to be good. I loved the first one. Honestly, this is a series that I kept looking at because of the beautiful covers, but would never read because I'm not a massive person about dragons and stuff. However, I'm so pleased I bit the bullet and just read it because it's fantastic, and it's definitely a series that I can't believe more people aren't talking about. Part of the World of Book shopping, I also picked up Richard Osman's The Man Who Died Twice. This is the second book in the Thursday Murder Club series. We all know I love these books on this channel. Absolutely love them. Fan-frickin-tastic. But I don't have room for the hardbacks anymore, and so I've been getting the paperbacks. I love these books and I wanted them on my shelves. I still haven't even unhauled the 2 hardback books as much as I said I'm going to. I also don't want to because I love the hardbacks so much, but I don't have the space, and yeah, there's nothing wrong with these paperbacks at all, and I do generally prefer reading from paperbacks. It's just... Anyway, that's not the point. This is a cozy murder mystery. I absolutely love it. We're following our 4 main characters. They make up the Thursday Murder Club, where they meet every Thursday in residential home to discuss cold cases until in the first book they get an actual murder, and I love it. There is so much dry wit and humour. It is very British dry wit humour, which I know that not everybody gets on with, but I love it. I think it's fantastic. It's definitely my sort of humour, and these were just so good to read. So highly recommend these if you're looking for a cozy murder mystery. Again, from World of Books, we have The Traitor by Seth Dickinson, also known as The Traitor Barrow Cormorant if you're in the US. I'm devastated because the US actually get better editions. Like, their cover is so much more beautiful, and I was very confused for a hot second, not realizing that this book was the same, and it wasn't until I had done some digging and stuff that I realized it's exactly the same. I should have realized that just from the author, but I didn't put those 2 things together. To be honest, I don't normally look for the author books. I go by titles, which that's definitely something I need to work on. You know what, these covers, they're giving me old fantasy, oh my god, even Hunger Games vibes. Do you guys remember those old original Hunger Games books? And I swear the last one had like this yellowy that's what it reminds me of. Oh my god. Anyway, old school. Even the synopsis on the back is slightly different. I don't know whether the US edition is like new and has been reprinted and that's why. You know what, I got it on Model Books, it was like £4. I'm happy to try it. Adult fantasy has been a bit hit and miss with me. As I said, love the Lady Trent series, but some of them I just haven't been getting on with. Now, Reagan from Peruse Project absolutely loves this book. She's political fantasy and it's a bit like if Tyrion Lannister was given his own book, but is a female. And that sounds amazing to me. I'm actually really excited to read this one. I've got quite a few adult fantasy books that have been sat on my TBR that I do need to get to, but they haven't been like intriguing me as much as this one's captured my attention. So be looking out for this one soon. I say soon, probably in the next few months. Okay, then I also got this one from Model Books, but not part of the 3 for 4 deal. Or 4 for 3 deal. Anyway, and that's Across the Green Grass Fields by Shauna Maguire. This is book 6 in the Wayward Children series. I love this series. It is short portal fantasies, absolutely fantastic. We also have influences from things like Alice in Wonderland, Jack and Jill, children's tales like that have been changed, and we're following children who have stumbled into different worlds like Alice in Wonderland or the kids that went to Narnia. But what happens when they come back? And it's like showcasing a place where you've been accepted so much to who you truly are and how it is trying to come away from all of that. In the first book you do have a bit of murder mystery, and the rest of the series you kind of get some books that continue on from the first book and some books that take place before the first book. It's really unusual reading order, but I love it and it works so well. Jack and Jill are my favourite characters in this. I don't think we're following them in this one because they were in the 5th book, so I do think this one is completely different, but I don't like knowing going into this because they are so short, so I'm just excited to see what this one's going to be. There is a 7th book and there is an 8th book coming out I believe next year, so I need to get on and catch up with the series because I do actually love this and they're such quick reads. Okay, and the last book that I got from Model Books that was part of that deal was Before the Devil Breaks You by Libba Bray, and this is in the cover that I like. So I hunted around for ages looking for The Diviners by Libba Bray. The edition that we have in England is it's disgusting, I hate it. But the US edition, I really like these covers and it took me ages to find that one. I've loaned it to my sister, but she is well aware that that one's got to be sent back because I love that book and I love that cover so much, and I did really struggle finding it as I've been collecting all the books in that. So again, when I saw this as part of the offer, I couldn't say no. This is the 3rd book in the quartet and I love this. This is set in 1920s, I think it's, yeah, New York City, and you've got like the Jazz Age, the glitz, the glamour. You do also have parts of the racism and all of that side of things as well. Libba Bray does not brush over that, which I really appreciate. And then alongside all of that, you have occult themes and vibes added into this book, and I think it's great. It's another really good murder mystery, slightly more on the paranormal side, but it works really well. I loved it. I think it's really good, has a nice bit of humour in it as well. The 2nd book, oh, got me in the feels right at the end, so I can't wait to carry on with this one as well, but would highly recommend that one as like a paranormal murder mystery. I don't know, some people put these in with fantasy, some people put them in murder mystery. It's a nice crossover genre. It is young adult. I love it. Okay, and then the last 3 books that I thrifted are actually non-fiction books. We have Jane Austen and Unrequited Love. I picked this up at a free library. I don't know too much about this one. It is literally just about Jane Austen. What does it say? She's regarded as one of the greatest novelists in the English literary canon. There is considerable interest in the romantic history of Jane, yet much remains unknown about her own personal life. Here, Andrew Norman breaks ground by proposing that Jane and her sister Cassandra fell out over a young clergyman who is identified in this book for the very first time. Okay, well, I guess we're gonna see. So yeah, that's by Andrew Norman. I don't know if it's any good, but non-fiction books I've realised I do like reading. I don't read them all the time, but I'm more interested in reading them about authors that I have an interest in. And I think by learning about the authors, you get an understanding of their books more in depth than what I would have got without it. So very happy with that one. This was a hefty tome that I also picked up. This was in a charity shop, and this is The Mad Woman in the Attic, The Woman Writer and the 19th Century Literary Imagination. And this is actually one that was by Yale University Press. This is one that I'm probably going to dip in and out of slowly. Again, just giving me more information about literary authors that were amazing. We have different authors cited in this one. We have Jane Austen, we've also got George Eliot, Charlotte Bronte, and a few others. Like there's a lot that this book is tackling, and it's just seeing how the influence of society at that time. It also has a bit about Freudian stuff in here. Like there's a lot. An absolute loads, and I think this is going to be something that I just maybe read a chapter that I'm interested in. Say if I'm reading something about a particular author, so like Charlotte Bronte's, I think Shirley's referenced in here, so when I get around to reading that book I'll probably read this one as well and just see what extra things I can pick up that I would have missed in the book otherwise. And so that's the plan, but this is something that I'm genuinely very interested in. It's a particular topic that if I'd gone to university, this is the sort of thing I would have specialised in. As when I saw it in the charity shop, it was literally £3 for this massive tome. I couldn't say no to that. As much as I'm not in university and I'm not going to be writing any essays or things like this, it's fascinating to gain more of an understanding. And the last non-fiction book we have Jane Austen, The Secret Radical, and this is by Helena Kelly, and again picked this up in a charity shop. And this one is actually talking about all of Jane Austen's books and the meaning behind them, which is fascinating to me. We have all of her main books, so Northanger Abbey, Sense and Sensibility, Pride and Prejudice, Mansfield Park, Emma, Persuasion, and we have different things that those books were highlighting and like talking about, and how Jane Austen used them to get different points across. It has been said that after you've read this, you're going to reread the Jane Austen books in a completely different light, which excites me a lot because I've read all of her books once, and so I'm really looking forward to reading this and then reading her books again just to see. So like this one, The Anxieties of Common Life, that's in Northanger Abbey. The Age of Brass in Sense and Sensibility, The Chain and the Cross in Mansfield Park, and so it's just those sort of interesting things which I really cannot wait. So I think what I'm going to do next year is read the part, so say read the bit about The Chain and the Cross, Mansfield Park, and then reread Mansfield Park and see what I can pick up on. That's the plan with this. I'm really excited. But those were all the thrifted books. Now let's get into all the books that I actually bought full price. I did go on a bit of a buying spree when I got back from Thailand. I don't know, I was just really craving buying new books, and so I satisfied that craving. A Marvellous Light by Freya Marsk. This is a book that's been getting a lot of hype again because the second book is due out soon. This is the book when it first came out I was interested in it but just didn't pick it up because of it being in hardback, and I don't know too much about this one. I know that Enter a hidden world of magic, manners and mayhem. You know what I forgot to do is the first line. Oh, I've got such bad pins and needles. There we go. Okay. But yeah, I forgot to do the first line of books, so I think for all of these ones, I'm now going to do the first line. So this one, it says, enter a hidden world of magic, manners and mayhem. We have a baronet, Robin. Blythe is struggling to save his family estate from his late parents' excess. A new job seems perfectly timed, however, no one tells Robin that he'll be acting as a parliamentary liaison to the Hidden Society of Magicians. Sounds really good. I'm really intrigued. I have heard it's gay as well, so that sounds perfect. Right, let's see what this first line is. Reginald Gatlin's doom found him beneath an oak tree on the last Sunday of a fast fading summer. That's pretty good actually. I liked that. I do want to do that first sentence challenge that started with Jack. I'm not sure which channel he did it on, either Jack in the Books or his other one. And then Christina did it as well, and I'm really intrigued. I really want to do that. So that's going to be a video coming soon. I have loads of ideas. Anyway, the next one, For Your Own Good by Samantha Downing. This one is it's been cited as a dark academia, so I'm really intrigued. Also, I don't like the cover. I do think the US cover is better. Like, honestly, I'm surprised, okay? I used to, hand on heart, say that UK covers outshone US covers. But lately, no. Anyway, this one is, at first you're impressed by Mr. Crutcher with his dedication to his students, but something isn't right at that school. It starts with small things, a teacher falling sick, rumours about a former pupil going off the rails. Of course, you never guessed it could end in murder. I mean, I mainly picked this up because they said dark academia, so I was like, okay then. But first line, entitlement has a particular stench. Fair enough. We have The Hollow Places by T. Kingfisher. I actually want to read all of T. Kingfisher's books. I read Nettle and Bone recently and absolutely loved it. I know that each of her books she kind of does like for a different audience and stuff, which makes me very intrigued. This one I believe is a bit more of a horror one, but she has so many books and I desperately want to get them all. And yeah, this is the next one that I found. Very intrigued. I don't know if this is the one that's been inspired by Fall of House of Usher by Edgar Allan Poe. I couldn't get on with his writing at all. But T. Kingfisher's writing, on the other hand, I absolutely love. I don't want to know much about this book going into it, so we're just going to go straight to the first line. Nobody ever believes me when I tell them my Uncle Earl owns a museum. Okay, so it's taking place in a museum, maybe. We have The Christie Affair by Nina de Gramont, and this one I picked up because it said the Christie Affair. It's about Agatha Christie. We are following her and Nan O'Dea. The two women become the unlikeliest of allies, and during the 11 days that Agatha goes missing, events unfold that only throw light on her mysterious disappearance, but also on Nan's own tragic secret life. So I'm really intrigued. I want to read more about Agatha Christie. I'm loving her books. There is a non-fiction book out that Christina told me about as well. So yeah, I don't know, I'm really intrigued. I don't know if I'm going to like this one or not, but it said Agatha Christie, so I have to give it a try. This one is: a long time ago in another country, I nearly killed a woman. You know what? That really grips me, because I have a penchant for murder in my books. Talking about murder in my books, we have A Shot in the Dark, and this is by Lynn Truss. This was a book that I actually got free. The next book, I bought that book and I got this one free with it. And this one is another cozy murder mystery. I haven't read any of Lynn Truss' books, so I'm really intrigued to try them, and if I like them, then that's another cozy murder mystery author that I can explore. And this one, we're in Brighton in 1957. Inspector Stein rather enjoys his life as a policeman by the sea. No criminals, no crime, no stress, until of course something happens and it all goes wrong. That sounds like a perfect time to me. The day of the notorious Middle Street massacre dawned like many other in those happy, far-off days. A massacre? A massacre? Yes, please. The book that I got this book free with is The Bullet That Missed by Richard Osman. This is the third book in the series. I love this. It was actually really good. I got this from W.H. Smith's. It was half price and you got a free book. Amazing deal. Anyway, loved this book. Recently buddy read this with Christina. I've mentioned her a lot. Her channel will be linked below. If you don't follow her, you should. Oh my gosh, with this book, it was so good. It was fantastic. The twists, the turns, adored it. There is going to be a fourth book out. We've already said we're going to buddy read that one. I loved it. A new favourite. It was brilliant. Loved it. It was, oh my god, yeah, such a good time. I did not manage to solve this one at all, but my little brother did. He beat me to that. Very impressed with him because he got it all completely right, and I failed, utterly failed, but it was such a good time. I've already said what the Thursday Murder Club and everything is about, and it's just the third book in that series. I will be getting it in paperback when it comes out, but I mean, just look how amazing they are. This is why I don't want to give them up. Plus all the end papers, their little foxes, like, ugh. You know, I don't think I can do it. I don't think I can unhaul those first two in hardbacks. I just don't think I can. Maybe I'll just keep the paperbacks for like rereads and I annotate and stuff in them. I don't know. I just don't know if I can. I love them. I don't know. Crisis. Moving on. Another book that, oh my god, I love. Beautiful cover, and I'm hoping at the time of filming this that I'm going to be reading this very soon. But that is, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry about this lighting. I use sunlight and the clouds are not playing ball with me today. But that is The Ballad of Never After by Stephanie Gabar. I really enjoyed Once Upon a Broken Heart. It is such a cute YA fantasy. It's like a beautiful cozy little fairy tale, and it's so sweet and happy and ridiculous, and I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Although I have been seeing people on TikTok that have been reading this book and they've been like crying at the end of it, and so I'm terrified. I'm absolutely terrified. I love this. I love how beautiful it is. This is one of the few book series that I will get in hardback because all of her books are stunning, and look at that gorgeousness. It's so perfect and beautiful. So I always have to get these. It doesn't matter that they're in hardback and I don't have room. These sit on top of my bookshelves. I love them so much. But yeah, this one we're following Evangeline, and in the first book she makes a deal with a fate. A fate is someone that is quite powerful and they do make bargains with people, but those bargains never come out quite how they imagined. Evangeline does it because she doesn't want the person that she loves marrying her stepsister, and so Jack stops the wedding, but not in the way Evangeline wanted, and it's very interesting. Austen. It's just fun, it's cute, it plays on all the tropes, it doesn't pretend to be anything it's not, and I love it for that. I absolutely love it. This is one of the few YA cutesy fantasy books that I will gobble up. Oh my god, we're gonna read the first sentence. I'm so excited to read this one. Look at the map. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, we have words of warning right at the start. Okay, we're gonna do the first sentence from the words of warning. Okay. Dear Evangeline, eventually you will see him again, and when you do not be fooled by him. Oh my god, you guys, I read that and now I want to read this so much. Do I do that? Do I just put all my books on hold and just pick up this one? No, because I have work and I can't. This is not leaving my house. Look how stunning this is. It's not leaving the house. You know what? I may have to pick up the paperback versions of these as well, so I have a copy that I can leave the house with. You know, I have a buy-in problem. Please send help. Okay, then we have two little tiny books, which I do not feel bad at all for buying. To be honest, I don't feel bad about buying any of these books, but we have these beautiful Penguin Little Black Classics. These are fantastic. I've spoken about them a lot, especially my How to Get Into Classics videos and stuff. For these ones, I have Oscar Wilde's Lord Arthur Savile's Crime and Jane Austen, The Beautiful Cassandra. These are both little stories. I'm very excited for them. I enjoy them just as like a nice little short story in between bigger books and stuff that I'm reading. But yeah, I really recommend these. I mean, both of these, they were £2 each. They're a bargain. Honestly, a bargain. Some of them you can even get just for £1. They are so good. Aha, the second book that I was talking about earlier, we have The Tropic of Serpents, a memoir by Lady Trent, again by Marie Brannan. But yeah, I won't talk to you about what this one is because I already spoke to you about what this series is as a whole. Highly excited to get to this one. You will be seeing me reading this one very soon. Again, very soon as relative to the next couple months. Few months. 3 months? 4 months? Next few months. Anyway, we also have another book by Marie Brannan, and that is A Star Shall Fall. And this one I didn't realise is the third book in a series. However, the first book is set 200 years before this one. The second book is set 100 years before. I'm really hoping that I can read just the third book. I have been reading a few Goodreads reviews, and they do say that this book is the best out of all of them, and that you don't necessarily need to read the first two. So I'm going to give it a try. And we're going to see how it works. Oh my gosh, I forgot to do the first sentence thing again. Let's do this again. So the one by Oscar Wilde, let's see, what have we got? It was Lady Windermere's last reception before Easter, and Bentinck House was even more crowded than usual. I'm not going to lie, that's not a great first line. And then we have Jane Austen's The Beautiful Cassandra. Oh, okay, this is Jack and Alice, chapter the first. Mr. Johnson was once upon a time about 53, in a 12-month afterwards he was 54, which so much delighted him that he was determined to celebrate his next birthday by giving a masquerade to his children and friends. Interesting. There's actually quite a lot of grammatical errors and things in this, which is really surprising. It's not really surprising. I actually really like that because this one is from when Jane Austen wrote this to entertain her family. I think it's quite cute that they've left in all like the grammatical errors and stuff, like friends is spelt wrong and things like this, but that's going to be quite a nice one to read. Oh my gosh, I didn't even do the second bit. So The Tropic of Serpents is public opinion is a fickle thing. I know that's not gripping, but I am so excited. And then yes, back to this one. This is chaotic energy. I don't know what's going on today. But yeah, so I'm not sure. I'm going to give this one a try and hope I like it. I just know that we have Fae. It's set in London in 1757. And we also have like dragons, fae, and revolutionised philosophy and scientific knowledge. It sounds really interesting. I'm really intrigued to give it a try. Let me know if you have read this one, if I should be reading the first two books first. I didn't realise it was in a series at all. It's not clear on the back. I mean, as much as it has things down there, I thought those were the next ones in the series. On the back, it does read like a standalone. Am I going to say, hopefully, oh my god, look at that map. I love maps in books. Do you like maps in books? I do. Okay, so then we have a list of characters and who they are, always helpful. Okay, the prologue. The room was a shabby one to contain the intellectual brilliance of England. We are down to the last few, I promise. So next up we have Arthur Conan Doyle's The Lost World. I have read all of the Sherlock Holmes books by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle and absolutely loved them, adored them. And so of course when I saw this one that isn't anything to do with Sherlock Holmes, I still wanted to pick it up because I loved his writing in this. And this one is kind of giving me like Jurassic World vibes. Obviously this one came first, but this is his classic tale of adventure and discovery, and it first appeared in 1912. We are following a Professor Challenger. A scientific expedition sets out to explore a mysterious plateau in the Amazon rainforest, only to find themselves trapped in a world lost in time, inhabited by dinosaurs and ape men. Honestly, it does sound really good. I'm very intrigued. Okay, so first one. No reader once delighted by Lost World can forget the scene of Professor Challenger's amazing London triumph. That's the introduction though. Hang on a moment. Bibliography, chronology. I mean, that's the thing. The Oxford World Classics, you actually get loads of like information on the text. Okay, let's try this again. Chapter 1. Mr. Hunkerton, her father, really was the most tactless person on the earth, a fluffy, feathery, untidy cockatoo of a man, perfectly good-natured but absolutely centred upon his own silly self. I actually really liked that. That was great. You know what? Yes, I want to read this one soon. I want to read all of these soon. Okay, then we also have Picnic at the Hanging Rock, and this is by Joan Lindsay. And this one again is a Dark Academia one. I got it on a Dark Academia reading list. Also Ashley from Frolic Through Fiction mentioned it. So we have a cloudless summer day in the year 1900. Everyone at Appleyard College for Young Ladies agreed it was just right for a picnic at Hanging Rock. After lunch, a group of 3 girls climbed into the blaze of the afternoon sun, pressing on through the scrub into the shadows of the Hanging Rock. Further, higher, until at last they disappeared. They never returned. That's quite creepy, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, okay. First line is basically what we said on the synopsis. Everyone agreed that the day was just right for the picnic to Hanging Rock. A shimmering summer morning, warm and still, with ciders, I can never pronounce that word, shrilling all through breakfast from the loquat trees outside the dining room windows, and bees murmuring above the pansies bordering the drive. Perfect for summer. Maybe I'll save that for a summer read because that's quite a nice description. Okay, then we also have Daughters of Sparta by Claire Hayward. This is adding to my Trojan Greek myth retellings. We are following Clytemnestra and Helen, the 2 princesses of Sparta. Is princesses the right word? Probably not. It's Helen of Troy and Clytemnestra, her sister. I've read quite a lot of books that take Clytemnestra's tale and also Helen's tale and seen how those authors like reimagine it and reinvent it, so I'm very happy to add another one to that collection. She sat frozen, hands bloody. Ooh. That was quite a good first line, I'm not gonna lie. Very intrigued. Okay, then we also have Agatha Christie, The Body in the Library. This is continuing on my Agatha Christie journey. I say journey, I've read a short story collection by her and I've not continued on. I need to get on that. I have the first book. I'm tackling Miss Marple series first before I move on to Hercule Poirot. I'm sorry, Eric. Eric, if you're watching this video, you taught me how to say that. And I haven't been practicing since. I will get better for it when I get around to reading those books, I promise. But yes, I'm starting with Miss Marple, and the second book is The Body in the Library, which, you know what, that's a fantastic title. I really want to read it. And this is A Cozy Murder Mystery by the Queen. So, the Queen of Murder Mystery, Agatha Christie. Chapter 1. Mrs. Bantry was dreaming. There we go. Nice, short, sweet, to the point. I like Mrs. Bantry. Met her in the short story collection, which is the Tuesday Club Murders, which I am 100% sure inspired Richard Osman's The Thursday Murder Club. 100% sure. From the title to the characters, 100%. Anyway, we have a Thai book, and this is We Have Always Lived in the Castle by Shirley Jackson, but in Thai. When I went to Thailand, I really wanted to pick up a book. This was only £5. And you know what? That cover, stunning. Can I read Thai? No. Have I even read We Have Always Lived in the Castle? No. But this was beautiful and I do want to read We Have Always Lived in a Castle, which is a horror book. I wanted a book for my travels. So that's what I did. With the exact same thing with the very last book, which is the Italian version of Madeline Miller's Galate. And I picked this one up because it is the most beautiful damn book I've ever seen in my life. Look at that. There is beautiful illustrations on every single page. Every single one. And I'm sorry. We got this. And it's lovely. It's cute. But it's just plain text. And the Italians get this? This beautiful creation? Oh my gosh. I cannot wait to actually read these and read this and have the illustrations in the background because it's stunning. I fell in love with it. It's honestly the most beautiful illustrations I've seen, and all the illustrations perfectly go with what's happening in the book. I think it's stunning, and I'm very pleased that I got this. Thanks for bearing with me. This was definitely a chaotic video to film and all sorts. Like, I wasn't planning on filming this morning, but the house is nice and quiet, and you've got to take the opportunity while you can. I was actually planning on filming tomorrow morning, but clearly I had the energy for it today. So thanks for bearing with me. Let me know if you've read any of these books, or what's a book that you got recently. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. I'm in ramble mode, and I've already spoken for ages, so we're gonna end it here. If you've made it this far, then let's put a book stack emoji, because there is 25 books right piled up in front of me. This was so much fun. I'm so pleased. I really enjoyed this. I'm so excited for all of these books. Thank you so much. If you have enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it that thumbs up, subscribe, comment to let me know that you're here. Those 3 things make such a big difference to this channel, so thank you so much. All my social media links will be linked below, and I will of course catch you in the next one.